Welcome back to Under the Umbrella Podcast, y'all. Today, me and Cam, we got a interesting topic. We personally love basketball. Everybody know that. So today, we want to discuss the men's college ranking top 25, and we just want to let everybody know we appreciate you guys listening to us, watching us on YouTube now. We're trying to be consistent. We're working at it. It's been going good so far. So Cam, let them people know how you feeling, man.
Back with another one. And said we're trying to get our scheduling together and making sure we're carving out time to record and get these videos out. But said today we're just gonna touch on the NCAA men's top 25 for a little bit and just about a few things with that.
So I want to start it off. I'm gonna just go through the list of right now. Let's just go through the list of who's ranked number one all the way to 10. So we have number one, we have Kansas. Two, we have Alabama. Three, we have UConn. Four, we have Houston. Five, we have Iowa State. Six is Gonzaga. Seven is Duke. Eight is Baylor. Nine is UNC and Arizona in the top. That ranks of the top 10 of the top 25. So Cam, with any of those teams I called in the top 10, is there anyone you like excited to see or you just want to see how their season progresses? Is there any team in that top 10 that pops out to you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I feel like Kansas and Alabama have been two of the teams I feel like I've been hearing the most about. But just for me, I think two of the teams I really in the top 10 that I really look forward to watching them play is Duke and Arizona. And obviously, I grew up watching the ACC, so I've always watched Duke and North Carolina and everything like that. But with Arizona they just switched from the Pac-12 going into the Big 12. So I'm curious to see how they're gonna pan out switching conferences this year. I think they'll be fine, but it's just interesting. I find it interesting when teams switch conferences and kind of change up their schedule a little bit in their competition. So I'm definitely curious with those two teams, Duke and Arizona.
Yeah, the top 10, the conference switching is like I was just talking to my boy just the other day. We was just talking about how like so many like these West Coast teams are like now going to be playing basketball in like the Midwest slash like the East Coast, and it's like, is the traveling gonna be like a big impact on the kids? Like, are they gonna be like 3 games in a row that's away games and four that's home games? Like, cause that is a very like that is important. Like that traveling, especially coming from different time zone, and you gotta get off the plane and right there is that's almost like preparing yourself for March Madness.
Exactly.
That like it's almost preparing yourself for March Madness. So yeah, it's gonna be the top 10. I don't have an issue with personally. I think the ranking. I think all those teams are pretty ranked where I personally expect them to be. Kansas, I know Kansas just took a exhibition L to Arkansas, so they probably glad they got that out the way. So that didn't hurt their ranking. So, but like I think Kansas deserved to be ranked number one, and then Alabama. For like people who don't know, like Alabama basically bought back their whole five and then added possibly the best big man defender, the best center defender in the country, in my opinion. So that's why I'm like, we all know Alabama's a football school, so seeing them ranked so high for basketball is like strange. And we all know they got a good coach over there with Eric Musselman. For me, in the top 10 right now that I want to personally watch, I kind of want to watch. I want to watch UConn just because it's not the same. It's not that same UConn team from the past 2 3 years where they had guards that was like they could go. It's a whole kind of like different team. So can they bring that same intensity and fire year in like year in? Like is it gonna be a normal? Or are they gonna three-peat? So that's kind of exciting. So that's who I want to see in the top 10. I don't have no arguments right now with the top 10. Like maybe Baylor could have probably ranked higher, but because I think the transfer of Jeremy Roach to Baylor, I think like you're excited to see Duke, right, Cam? I'm
for
excited
sure.
to see how Duke react because I think like a lot of people are excited about Cooper Flag, the young guys coming in, and I know Tyrese Proctor is there, Caleb Foster, they're gonna be playing the guard, but losing Jeremy Roach is like that was because we all know basketball is built off of like having those college basketball is built off of having those guards that's like they could go get a bucket anytime they want. Like we seen that with the Kimbas, the Shabazz Napier, the Russ Smith of Louisville. Those are teams that usually win a title. That's how it goes for college, in my opinion. So I'm kind of excited to see Baylor, but mainly UConn. I just want to see how UConn is gonna react to not really be fully loaded, and are they gonna bring that same energy that they had even last 3 years? So I want to see how that goes. So moving on from the top 10, we got Alabama at 11, Tennessee at 12, Texas A&M at 13, Purdue ranked 14, Creighton 15, 16 we got Arkansas, 18, 17, excuse me. 17 we got Indiana, 18 we got Marquette, and 19 we have Texas, and to finish off at 20 we have Cincinnati. So, is there any team there? Do you want me to like read the list back out, Cam? If you felt like you missed somebody at a number, is there anyone there, like anyone in that tier from 10 to 20 you like, or a player you might be excited to see?
Probably Arkansas. Um, Cal's there. I'm always interested in his team, like his coaching style, and I'm interested if he can kind of turn, not necessarily turn the program around, because Arkansas is not a bad program at all. I mean, they've had success in their basketball program before, men and women. So they've always been a capable program, but it's just certain coaches that switch programs. You kind of want to see how they do and follow their journey as they kind of get a new group of guys and see if they can kind of replicate some of the success they've had at other programs. So I'm always interested in how Cal coach teams, how they pan out for the season. So that's one of the teams in that 20 that I'm interested in watching this year.
Yeah, see, we might bump heads here. I am not a fan of John Calipari. I think he's a great recruiter. He puts entertaining players together, and he gave us something special for the last decade. He kind of gave us that freshman phenomenon, just young guys coming in and just dominating. So I'll give him that. But like coaching wise, I don't. I am excited to see Arkansas. I agree with you that Cam. I am excited. I feel like Cal, for all the talent he has, it doesn't replicate like a lot of Final Fours and championships. And if anyone is listening, they disagree. It's understandable because people just like who Cal is. I feel like Cal should have probably had like 4 championships right now because the amount of talent.
Sure.
I understand the guys he got was young, but the amount of talent he put into the NBA is like, yo, why he only have 1 championship? And then last year rubbed me so wrong because like he had Reed Shepard and Dillingham, and he didn't play them together. It's not like I understand if you didn't want to play one of them together because like, hey, one don't play defense or something like that. You had one of the worst defensive teams in the country as a power like a power five ranked conference team. So it's like I don't know. Like Cal confused me, but I am excited to see Arkansas just to see what's his name, Johnny Davis. He transferred in from Florida Atlantic University. I want to see how
Had his name.
those young guys. Yep, I want to see if he could help DJ Wagner find his foot in, and the young kid from New York, Boogie. I want to see if he's gonna help them young guys like find their footing and be that veteran leader. So that I am excited to see them play. For me, in that top 20, it's top 20, 10 through 20, I'm more interested in, to be honest, I'm more interested in Marquette because I feel like Shaka Smart got his groove back. That's like, we remember he went to Texas. We was like, oh man, Shaka Smart about to be that guy, and then Texas didn't feel like a Shaka Smart kind of school after a couple of years.
Marquette feels like more of a gritty, like grind, like
Yeah,
out type of program that kind of like because who was there before because whatever his name was, the coach they had there for a long time. That was more like his mold. Like he was more like a
yeah,
hard nosed, like gritty coach, and that's the type of players that usually come through Marquette anyway. So
yeah. So that to me, out of that group, Marquette is very interesting because I think the Big East is like in like 3 or 4 years. I think the Big East is back because the Big East just is like coach wise. Big East got some tough coaches out there, so it's like they just got to like Cooley being at Georgetown, all these guys, Rick Pitino getting back in the swing and being like in a big school. Like you just gotta give them time. And what Sean Miller's back at Xavier. I think the Big East, like coach wise, the Big East is gonna them coaches we know they could coach. They're gonna build up programs. And I think the Big East will be back. So like I'm excited to see Marquette just to see how the last 2 years Shaka Smart got them moving. And then from the area that I'm from, a lot of people like what's the kid name that's there? Stevie Mitchell. I believe that's his name, Stevie Mitchell. He's like I think he's the point guard right now, they two guard. So I'm interested to see him play just because I know people in the local area are gonna talk about him. So I'm interested to see how Marquette does. And I am a fan of Shaka Smart. He brought back like almost that VCU Havoc defense feel again. So I am excited to see that back in like college basketball a little bit. So Cam, we're just gonna finish off with the last 5 teams, which is Florida at 21, UCLA at 22, ranked at 23. We have Kentucky, 24, Ole Miss, and last but not least, Rucker at 25. The Rutgers University at 25. Is there anyone in that group that I just listed that you like? I kind of like them being here. I want to see them get to that level.
I don't know too much about the last five. I hear good things about Rutgers, but I definitely I'd have to look more into these like last five teams. But I know through the through 20, Texas and UCLA are two other teams that are switching conferences. Like going from the Big 12 to the SEC, which that'll be interesting to see how that goes. CLA is going from the Pac 12 to the Big 10, which you said earlier about teams, conferences, and the travel, and team like UCLA, where you're used to going, up and down the West Coast for the most part. You're going to be going to the Midwest and the East Coast a lot more, especially in conference play. I think that'll be interesting how that goes. You said this Shaka Smart was there for a little bit. So just trying to see how their program kind of to these changes of the conference and stuff like that. But what do you think about the those last five? Which ones kind of stick out to you?
What I was saying when you asked me about the top 25, I was saying I know Florida's going to be real good for sure. Florida's going to be good. Right. They're definitely going to be good. They bring in more of a defensive minded team that we didn't see since like Al Horford and then with Billy Donovan. And
Right, man.
yeah, so we didn't see that in a while. So Rucker is like I'm excited to. I think a lot of people don't know Rucker is probably like why is Rucker ranked top 25? But the talent level that they bought in kind of give them that edge that they should be a top 25 team because we all know Ron Harper's son that's there, Dylan Harper. He's gonna be a hooper, and he's gonna probably challenge. he could probably challenge Cooper Flag for that number one draft pick spot. Him or Ace Bailey, because Ace Bailey's a hooper too. So like that Rucker team has a deep class that's coming in, and it's like I'm kind of like excited to watch them because I'm just confused. How did Rucker get all these top ranked kids? Like that's like you expect that from like the and the like Kentucky's. Like so, I was so surprised they was able to like grab all these kids. But maybe the NIL deals play a factor. I don't know. So I'm excited. So I think they do deserve to be in the top 25. The only it's two teams that out of that whole list that I could have possibly been like shouldn't have been in the top 25, but I don't have too much against it. Purdue, I don't think Purdue is going to be the same team from last year at all. I think Purdue lost a lot. Yeah, they got a couple of transfers in, but I don't think like I think they're ranked 18. And for me, I don't think Kentucky should have been ranked at all because we don't know who Kentucky's going to be next year. Like
That's
we
what
have
it's
no
like.
clue.
I was thinking the same thing when I seen Kentucky on there, and I'm just like, I don't know enough what they're gonna bring to the table this year. So it's kind of hard to even, well, they don't deserve it or they do deserve it. But you said that, like, it's true. It's like you don't really know what to expect from them. So even having expectations of a top 25, I'm like, I feel like it's a little much, but we'll see once the season starts. See how the team looks.
It could just be because Kentucky is one of those big blue bloods, and no matter, although they lost Cal, it doesn't matter. They like, yo, we have to give them the benefit of the doubt as a top 25 team. Because in my opinion, you could have easily threw Illinois in there. You could have threw my Michigan State in there and St. John's. Like I think St. John's is coming with a good team this year. So it's like that was more like one of those like why is Kentucky there? And I was like, maybe because they give them the benefit of doubt. They've been like they always been a top tier blue blood team for years. So maybe they given that, but maybe it's that. So Cam, before we get off this and head out, hope the people enjoy their weekend. Is there any player you definitely super excited to see this year in college basketball? Because you know it's on Monday, November 4th is tip off day.
Yeah,
Or it could be a couple of kids. Just like give me
it's
something.
definitely a couple. To name a few from like, we'll go like the top five ish teams, but like obviously Mark C from Alabama coming back after having a good year. Most I was more impressed with Sinner shooting from the three. Said this year, I think he's projected to be was the preseason pick for player of the year. I think he's looking to have a big year. Hunter Dickerson from Kansas, expecting big things out of him because obviously they're looking to bounce back and have a better year. Most Flag, obviously, that's a no brainer. I feel like everybody's
Yeah.
anticipating watching him play just from you've seen him in high school, whether you've seen him on getting it done when he was scrimmaging against Team USA, whether you watched him in their Madness, whether you watch any of the preseason stuff. I think everybody's looking forward to watching him post. Um, dude that ended up going Indiana. Well, he was at Indiana last year, but he transferred. Where did he transfer to? I think it was was it
Who you talking
Arizona?
about? Indiana? You're talking about Barlow
Or Barlow.
from Arizona. He at Indiana
He
now. Yep,
transferred to
he's at
Indiana.
Indiana
I
now.
think that'll definitely be interesting to see. Definitely want to see because you go from um an Indiana team that won 27 games the previous year, and you kind of leave that to go to a different program and kind of build something there. So he's going to Indiana. He was at Arizona. So yeah, him leaving the Arizona team that won 27
Yeah,
games,
yeah, the big,
resting for because most guys, I feel like
yeah,
most players would have stayed and tried to figure it out and try to see if you can kind of run it back with that same team. But the draft portal is going to play big in a lot of this stuff too. Like certain guys transferring teams. I feel like a lot of players when they transfer, they're trying to not necessarily like more exposure, but just trying to like find a better fit or more of an impact on their team. Because like I said, if you're on a winning team and you leave to go to, obviously you're going to Anna, so you're not. It's not like you're going from a good program to a bad program. It's like certain guys trying to kind of take the positive stuff that they got from wherever they coming from and kind of that with a new program and try to figure out how to win some games. But that definitely stuck out to me because those are two top 25 teams. So I definitely wait to see how that rolls out.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to say his name, Ballo or Ballo.
I
That
wasn't
like
sure.
he is gonna be interesting. He's gonna be interesting at Indiana with Mike Woodson coaching it because, like you said, it's not like he left the. It's not like he's going to a bad team either. So it's like kind of weird that he didn't stay there. For me, like somebody, I'm like we said Cooper Flag. Like I'm personally excited to see him play. See if he like we know he's good. We want to see if his talent is that extreme. For me right now, I'm gonna keep it just simple. The kid everybody forgot about. He was an influencer, like everybody knew who he was, and now we all forgot about him, which is Mikey Williams. I'm kind of see what he's gonna do at UCF. I want him and his boy JJ, I believe JJ Taylor. I want to see what they're gonna do. I'm kind of excited to see. So he's like the main kid I'm like keying in on. So I want to see like how is he gonna rebound from like his repetition being bad, like how he's gonna transition to being a more stable, like making a mistake and now like yo, I'm ready. So I'm excited to see that story unfold. That's something I'm definitely excited to see how his college career goes. Cam, so is there anything else you want to let the people? Anything else before we end off on our top 25 college teams? Anything else you want to let the people know? Share anything?
Keep rocking with us. Like we said, we're gonna keep bringing y'all this content. And if you're not following us, follow our Instagram. Check out our videos on the YouTube. Share any of our videos, any of our content. Share with people that enjoy basketball like we do. Get it, get our name out there a little more. That always helps, and we appreciate everybody that's sticking with us, and everybody's catching up on the new content. So we greatly appreciate everybody.
Yeah, that's for sure. You couldn't put it better. Like, yeah, we really appreciate you guys. Like telling us people who like it might not show our views or whatnot, but people who like reach out on the side and be like, hey, I like those takes and stuff like that. We appreciate that because we are basketball junkies and we know it's a lot of basketball junkies out there. They want to hear something different than mainstream basketball. So, man, all I can say until next time, man. See you guys under the umbrella. We appreciate y'all.